Happy Resurrection Day. The youth of Love Temple Missionary Baptist Church now present Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life.
We were lost in sin with no way out. We could not save ourselves. So God sent Jesus. He came to earth as a living word, both God and man. He healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, and resurrected the dead. Jesus lived a sinless life. He showed us the heart of God and the way to God. And then,
because the word had to be fulfilled, he was betrayed by me, Judas Iscariot. For a mere 30 pieces of silver, I, one of his disciples, revealed his identity with a kiss to the Roman soldiers. I later realized the horror of what I had done, but it was too late. Jesus had been condemned to die. It was more than I could bear. I threw the silver onto the temple floor and took my life.
My life was turned upside down by Jesus. He told me to follow him, and he made me, Peter, a fisher of men. Sure, I was impulsive, and I often spoke without thinking, like a lot. But Jesus used me the way I was and gave me the name, The Rock. On the last night that we ate with him, he told all of us that we would all desert him. I said that even if everyone else did, I would never. He looked at me sadly and said, by the time the rooster crows in the morning, I would have denied him 3 times. That was something I could never imagine. But when people recognized me as someone who had been with Jesus, I denied him. It was like another person was speaking out of me. When I denied him the 3rd time, the rooster crowed. I remembered what Jesus said. It was like a dagger through my heart, and I wept.
The Jewish people wanted Jesus to be put to death, but I could find no wrong in him. It was an enigma to me. He did not deny that he was the king of the Jews. Neither did he defend himself against their accusations. It was time for the celebration of Passover, and I followed a custom to this by releasing one prisoner. I gave the crowd a choice to release either Jesus or the criminal Barabbas.
They should have chosen Barabbas. I have had some bad dreams in my life, but this one was especially disturbing. In my sleep, I sensed that this man, Jesus, was innocent and not deserving of death. I went up to my husband Pilate as he sat at the judgment seat, and I begged him to release this man. Alas, he did not.
After the release of Barabbas, I asked the crowd what we should do with Jesus, and they all shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" I sent for a bowl of water and washed my hands in front of the crowd and said to them, "The blood of this innocent man is not on me. The responsibility is yours."
He was my son. I rocked him in a manger and watched him grow into a man. He often did and said things that I did not understand, yet I always remembered what the angel Gabriel had told me when he visited me. He said I would have a son, and I was to name him Jesus, and he would be called the Son of the Most High. As I knelt at the cross, I wondered how this could be. He was whipped beyond recognition. The crown of thorns dug deep into his flesh. And now he hung at a cross? His suffering unimaginable. My grief was more than I could bear. But I could not leave him. I stayed until his last breath, and then they took him down.
Mary and I clung to each other. Jesus was my friend and my Lord. He looked upon me, Mary Magdalene, and saw my need. He cast 7 demons from me, and I was forever grateful. And now, my friend, my teacher, was gone. Because it was a Sabbath, we could not even properly prepare his body. The following evening, we purchased spices so that we could anoint Jesus' body. Very early the next morning, I, along with James' mother, hurried to the tomb, wondering all the way who would roll the stone away for us. When we arrived, we were stunned to find that the stone had been rolled away. When we looked into the tomb, there was someone dressed in a white robe sitting there. What did this mean? Where was Jesus?
Don't be afraid. I know you're looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is in here, just as he said he would. He has risen from the dead. Come see where his body is lying, and now go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead, and he is going ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there. Remember what I have told you.
just as I said I would. I came to do the work of my Father, and I finished it. I turned water into wine. I healed many. I fed large crowds, and forgave sins while I walked on this earth for 33 years. All of my deeds were leading to one ultimate action, dying on the cross to take on the sins of the world. I died in the place of everyone, so that everyone may have a chance to be right with the Father. With my resurrection, I conquered death, defeated it, so that men, women, boys, and girls would be saved from their sins and receive an abundant life on earth and life eternal. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. It was true yesterday, and it is true today. Will you come?
Today, we celebrate the resurrection of our risen Lord. He sacrificed himself for us so that we might have new life. The world is ever changing, and we don't know what the next day will bring, but Jesus does. He offers forgiveness, hope, peace, and purpose for all of us who have received Jesus as our Savior. We rejoice together in his extraordinary redemptive act of love. For those who have not received him, there is no better time than now. His arms are still wide open.